Morning. Today we're going to be planting some soybeans. We got the Great Plains 1006 NT behind me from the Franklin County NRCS here in Southern Illinois. About to put it to work. Yep. Okay. Alright, so now we want to adjust our seed rate. Find soybeans on our rate chart for the main seed box. 7.5 inch rows is what this drill is already set up on. And then you want to find your pounds per acre, and we want to plant 80, which in drive type 1, that is clear at the top. We would have to have the seed handle at 100, which is as high as it goes. So you don't really want to be at the extreme one way or another. If you can, find yourself somewhere more towards the middle third. So let's go down to drive type 2. Drive type 2, 7.5 inch, 80. So here's 78.9 and here's 89.1. So we'll switch to drive type 2 and we'll put the seed rate handle somewhere between 45 and 50, more towards 45. I'm going to change the drive type from 1 to 2. And hop over here. And what we're going to do here on the, will be the passenger side of the drill, loosen up this wing nut right here. And then you can see this line right here on the top of this handle. And slide it over to 45. We'll put it about 46. Tighten up your wing nut. I think we're ready. Okay, so I've been testing my depth, and I started a couple hundred feet that way, just right in the corner of the field. And I've been coming out and driving about 25 foot and checking my depth, trying to make an adjustment. And so far what I've done, I took the Coulter adjustment, this valve right here. It says each full rotation of the knob on the depth control valve changes the Coulter depth approximately 1/4 inch. So basically this is just a piece of all thread that's adjusting this valve block, and there's a pin, a peg that's sticking out of the bottom of that valve. So as I turn this up, what it's going to do is it's going to take that valve and it's going to sit right here on the top of this stop and not let it go any deeper. But if I raise that block, it's going to let the coulters come up and that stop would hit that valve. But right now you see there's a gap between the valve and the stop, and I am dug into the ground. So at this point the ground is so hard that the coulters aren't digging enough to even come up to the stop. I marked my coulter in the ground. I just scraped the side of it with my knife and then lifted it up and looked, and they're only cutting in about 1 inch. So if we look in the back here, I actually have seeds. I have beans just sitting on the ground. Let me find a couple here. You can look right down in here, and you can see these 2 beans. They're not even 1/2 inch in the ground, and then they're not even getting covered up at all with these wheels. You can even see where I have the stops. There's still travel left in here. So basically the drill is not even seated in the ground to the point where it's adjusted to just yet. So the other thing I did was, when I adjusted the coulter valve up there, I came back here on these springs and I lifted up on these springs and I took out these W clips and I moved them from hole 1 to hole 2. And what that does, it gives you more down pressure on these wheels right here, where the seed is actually dropping into the ground. But that hasn't helped yet either. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to my drawbar, and right now their drawbar on the drill is set as low as it'll go. So when it's on my drawbar, the front is actually up as high as it'll go. So if I raise this, it'll lower the front down and give it more down pressure on those coulters. It's 3 o'clock. I just got back to the field, had to run out to my parents and grab my old weights that I had on the front of my tractor before I put my loader on, because there's a weight bracket right on the front of this drill. With lowering the drawbar height, or actually raising it to lower the tongue of the drill, I actually have caused the drill to not be level. You can see how it's nosediving a little bit, and what that's causing is the coulters are at a good depth, but then the discs in behind it, where the openers, where they're actually dropping the seed in the ground, are higher, and it's just dropping the seed. It's not really opening much at that point. The openers are just too high. So I'm gonna put the drawbar back where it was and put several of these weights on the front of it, and just try to help without actually having down pressure from the tractor, just that weight down pressure. Hopefully we'll get them coulters in the ground, and with this thing leveled out, then the openers will be able to do their job and drop the seed properly. We got that adjusted back and the drill is level. Now we can go ahead and put our weights on. .2 acres down. I just put 6 more bags in, and I got 8 left in the truck, so it's going good so far. 60. My wife brought me dinner from the gas station. Told you she takes care of me. way we started it, ain't we? Good night. Give me a comment below on the smallest equipment you've used and what size field it was on. This is a 10-foot drill, 50 horsepower tractor, open station. It does have a canopy though. It's very nice. And this is a 15-acre field. Now on the counter on the drill, it ended up reading 13.7. So even with all the overlaps on the turns and everything, I did leave a little bit more room around the perimeter than I did my wheat, just because there's so much overgrowth from the surrounding woods that it really doesn't make anything anyways out there. So if I would have done another pass around the perimeter, you know, that probably would have added another acre to it. Which, what's that? Oh, it's into my glasses. That would have made it 14.7, so that'd been about right. Let's go see how much seed's left. I bet, like I said earlier, I'm not real good at this. I'll vacuum it out when I get home, probably tomorrow. Well, I mean, I'm gonna get home tonight, but I'm gonna vacuum it tomorrow. And there's probably 2 bags in there. So let's do some calculating here. There's 3 bags in the back of the truck. There's probably 2 bags in here. So that's 5 bags. I got 24 bags minus the 5. That's 19 times 50 pounds. 950 pounds divided by 13.7. It's only 69 pounds to the acre. So that's what I mean. Basically, farmers would be mad if the manufacturers of the drill, would go ahead and try to get more exact on their numbers and raise them up a little bit like they should be. But basically what they do is they give all the risk to you, and they're very conservative with their numbers. So now that us farmers have learned that and know that, you know, we try and take the risk and up it just a little bit. But I mean, that just goes to show you I could have gone even more with the setting that I had on there. Drive type 2, 7.5 inches. It really should have been just over 80 pounds to the acre, and I got 69. So it just goes to show you, in my opinion, they are conservative on the charts, and I think this goes to show you that that assumption is true. All in all, we had a good day. It was a long one. Good night. What time is it? Holy moly. It's 20 after 8. So I think, well, I picked up seed at 7 o'clock this morning. So it's been a long day. Thank you for watching. I hope you tune in again. I'll have more videos to come. I'll give you an update when these beans pop out of the ground. At that point, we'll be getting close to second cutting, so we're gonna have to go around and look at all the fields. So thank you again for watching. I appreciate your support. Thank you if you have subscribed, and if you haven't yet, please do. I'm Steve with Welsh Farms. We'll see you next time. God bless.